a human being, a black man, was lynched in the New York State prison system. And we all saw it. I'm going to tell you what you didn't see, or you didn't hear. We saw the lynching, but we didn't see the begging, the crying for mercy. We know, those of us that have been in there, we hear the head hitting the bars. We hear the billy clubs hitting the head, the skull cracking bones, hitting ribs. And one thing, this is one thing that goes on in this prison system. White prison guards particularly, they seem to be obsessed with damaging the private parts of black men. Yeah. You always, they take their clubs, they hit the private parts, kick the private parts, punch the parts. They have an obsession with this. So even when a death doesn't occur, permanent damage occurs. Yeah. So we are here to uplift this because it's not a one instant thing. This has been going on in the prison system since 50 years ago. Before Attica, this was going on. And after Attica, it continued, and it continues to today. We all know Carl Taylor, Leonard Strickland, Samuel Harrell, and so many others, brutally beaten to death by this racist system of punishment. They feel, and I want to mention this thing here, sexual violence in our prison system needs to be addressed. Anybody who assaults a woman or man, because men are not immune from this, should be permanently terminated from their job. Permanently, no union should save them. They should be permanently terminated. And I want to say, before we call up these speakers, that for those of us here who have families that's incarcerated, none of us is immune. Not a single one of us is immune. I saw, when I was in Sullivan, I was an escort. I escort the blind, I escort the disabled people. I seen this white guy had to be 85 years old, maybe older. He's coming, walking through like this. Both sides of his face is puffed, red. Old white guy. A black sergeant asked, "Hey, you, come over here. What happened to your face?" And he don't answer. He said, "I asked you a question. What happened to your face?" And he looked at the CO. He said, "He hit me." Why did he hit you? Because I was walking too slow. So if they do that to an old 85, 90-year-old white man, what do you think they do to us? Right. You know, so we're here to really uplift this history of murder and brutality in the system, and not let the correction officers stage a strike, an illegal strike, to try to change the narrative that they are working in dangerous and unsafe conditions, that they are understaffed. They weren't understaffed when they beat that man to death. They were not understaffed then. So anyway, we're going to start this thing out by calling a rap leader, Teresa Brady. Come on, Teresa! What's up? I'm assuming everybody here knows who I was. We know. My name is Jose Hamza Saldana. Spell it for us. Jose-Hamza, Saldana, Saldana. I'm the executive director of the Release and Distribution Center.
My name is Teresa Brady. I am a Harlem community leader with rap as well as a impacted wife of a husband who was abused many a times in New State correction facilities. It started in Attica. They beat him so bad that when I went to see him, I almost didn't know that was my husband laying on the stretcher. Okay? And with no excuse. Then this recent one, I had to go change just to get in to see him. Find out he's in a hospital, but I can't go. Why not? I'm white. I have paperwork going on. Why I can't go? oh, we need to see paper. I don't walk around with those papers on me. Do y'all walk around with your birth certificates on you? Do you walk around with your medical other than a card? He can't walk around with a card. So am I supposed to have that for him? My husband got so brutalized when he was in Green Haven. The CEO that did it, it was a setup. A setup to take this older black man down. Sickly man. Can't barely do anything, but you want to try to kill him. Instead, you know, the system needs to turn itself around. We should not be here trying to see if these CEOs get convicted. They should be convicted already. It shouldn't have took this long to take them to no court for the indictment. Why? And this ain't the end. It's not the end. But we got to stop them some kind of way. We got to make it be known that this is what they do on the record. That's what me and I know many others, nobody wants to see their person killed on camera again. Nobody wants to have to hear that they got killed on inside because of the CEO's anger. Your anger shouldn't be there. That's your job, to protect and secure, not kill and maim, not rape men and women. Just because they there, you can do it, and they can't tell nobody. Because half of them are afraid to let their family know it on again. And then for the family sometimes, they get phone calls. They get nasty phone calls from these CEOs. I don't take threats easy, but I'd be damned if I'm going to stand still and let my husband get killed like that. And if I can avoid it for all, that's what we out here to do. So my name is Mr. Brady. I am Hollis. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Next, I want to call Israel from TCA.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ishmael Diaz Jr. I am the community organizer for Center for Community Alternatives, and I'm here today because we need to end all the violence that's happening in prisons. I served 9.5 years sentence, 12 years sentence, and I've witnessed things that happen that should have never happened to me. And I was fortunate enough that it happened to me, so that we can stop it happening to everyone who's inside, like it happened to Rikers right now, to get the public to say, hey, the guards are in trouble, but it's not the guards that are in trouble. You have people that are not eating right now in prison. You have people that are not getting their meds. And we really need to work together and put the truth out there so that we can say
I think everybody knows that what happened to Robert Brooks
You can get closer to so you can hear
never
them better.
happen again. Never happen again. Sadly, those who are out here brave the weather to come out here. If we fail to stop the state from killing black, brown, human beings in our prison system, it will continue. I have a co-defendant who's been in prison for 46 years. I grew up with this guy. This guy was a black history teacher at one time during his sentence. Today, he's in a wheelchair. His spine has been so damaged by the billy clubs, by the boots, by the punches, that this man will stay in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And he'll probably die in our prison. We advocate for legislation that will give this man hope. Him and others in a position like he is in, give them hope that they will one day return back to our communities. I want to bring up Anissa, who's an advocate for women's rights.
Good morning. And I want to say thank you to the reporters who are here today. It is real important that you are here. My name is Anissa Sabur. It's spelled A-N-I-S-A-H. My last name is S-A-B-U-R. I am not only a member of the RAP campaign, I'm a member of the Hope Solitary campaign. I am now the national coordinator to Unlock the Box. I'm out here today because this death was horrific. It was horrifying to watch them people beat that man to death. But what's more horrifying know that our people on the inside is suffering right now because we have because they fail to realize that we are human beings, we are people, and that we do not deserve to be beat to death because we made one mistake in our lives. We're out here in this cold, cold weather to call on our legislatures and the governor to fire every last rogue officer. Yes. They don't deserve to work in our system. They don't deserve to take care of our loved ones. No, they don't. This is the time, right now. Fire them. Bring on compassionate people who really want to see change in our systems. We need culture change. We need system change. And it starts now. As someone who experienced 16 years of incarceration, I know what the brothers and sisters are going through. This is not something that I thought about, dreamt about, or even wanted to know about. But I know how the officers are. And those who are not reporting to work should be fired. Not collect any benefits, not collect any unemployment, not of my tax-paying dollars, as someone who's been home for 20 years, paying taxes on the right side of the law, helping people on the inside reintegrate. We need to stop and change this system now. And if the governor don't do it, she has to go along with it. This is her duty as the governor and the leader of New York State. She is supposed to be on her job. If they're not doing their job, they have to go. And I say this, and I say to all of the family members out here, please keep your loved ones close. Take those phone calls when you can get them, because right now we know that without the officers actually opening those gates and letting them get to those phones, we will not know what's going on inside. We need people to go and visit their loved ones, have that access to see what's actually happening. If they decide to bring in the National Guard, make sure these men are not going in for war. We don't want to lose another New Yorker to violence. State violence. It's not the people on the inside hurting each other. It's the officers, the people who have the control. I say this one last time. If they refuse to go to work, fire them! Have to leave!
This is not about a few bad apples. They want us to believe that it's about a few bad apples. The whole damn tree is rotten. We have to uproot it. We cannot allow this to continue. I have to keep saying this. We have the power to stop this from happening. I want to start bringing up a couple of family members who have incarcerated loved ones. Caroline Hanson.
Come on, wifey.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Caroline Hanson. I'm a community leader with the Release Aging People in Prison campaign on Long Island and the lead organizer with New Hour for Women and Children. My husband, Christian, was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole when he was 19 years old. Last week, he turned 49. He is currently incarcerated at Eastern Correctional Facility, and he's completed every program that DOCS has to offer, which made him into the man he is today. And right now, there is no programming being run in the facility. He was just accepted into the Puppies Behind Bars program, where he trains explosive detective canines. The EDC dogs were just transferred out of Eastern yesterday. If the conditions in prison aren't adequate for animals, what do you think that our loved ones are dealing with inside? Yesterday at 3:08 p.m., he was locked in his cell. As of today, he has not been let out. He was given spoiled milk, a cheese sandwich, and a banana. In 2 days. When our oldest daughter and I went to leave the visit on his birthday, the officers were protesting outside the facility. And she was scared, and she was anxious, and she wanted to know what was going on. So I told her the truth. I told her that a man, defenseless man, was brutally murdered by the staff who was supposed to be there to protect them, to keep them safe. I told her that she was angry, and she was very angry. She wanted to know why that Robert Brooks' son couldn't go visit his father anymore like we were about to visit. She wanted to know what she could do to help. So I told her, like I'm going to tell all of you here today, that we need to tell everybody it's not a coincidence that they are striking the same week as their comrades, as their friends are being indicted. It is no coincidence.
You know what it is.
In their demands, their cowardly demands, nowhere in there does it merit why they are concerned for their safety. It is about money. It is about getting paid for overtime and retiring early. It has nothing to do with safety. Nothing to do with safety. And I just want to close out with this. Pushing all incarcerated individuals by removing visitation is both unjust and it is ineffective. Instead of taking away the support, the focus should be on implementing better oversight and accountability within the correctional system. Reforming staff practices, enforcing stricter protocols for officers, and addressing corruption within the facilities. That has proven to aid with a person at the end of the day that incarcerated individuals are human beings.
Right.
Thank you.
We are also we're calling for the governor to fire Commissioner Monticello.
That's right. Bye-bye.
He is vested. He was the deputy commissioner while all this brutal murders and brutalities and sexual violence was going on in the prison system and has done nothing about it.
Right.
Now, as the commissioner, he continues to do nothing about it. We oppose his confirmation. Our Senate confirmed him, and they should be held responsible too for confirming that. But they know that he has a vested interest in this culture of punishment, but they still confirmed him. So we have to take that up with our Senate too. But we are calling on Hochul to fire this guy and put somebody in there who understands human beings. Somebody in there who is compassionate. We actually had candidates that we was promoting that we believe would have made good commissioners because they care about human beings. They believe that human beings can transform their lives and they believe in redemption. Next, I want to call up another community leader from Rap, whose husband is in prison. Jeannie, come on.
Come on, Jeannie.
Hello everyone, thank you all for being out here. I know that it's really cold, so I appreciate it from my family to yours and the amazing show up here. My name is Jeannie Cologne. I am the wife of an incarcerated person. He's been in prison for 25 years, since the age of 17. He's currently housed at Sing Sing Correctional Facility. And things are not looking great inside. The officers are planning on striking tomorrow, and I agree with everything that all of my sisters and brothers have said here today. These officers signed a contract. They took an oath to uphold and protect our loved ones behind prison walls, right? They've committed a crime, if you will, and I don't like saying that, but they made a bad choice in life. They are paying for it. They are wards of the state. These individuals have taken an oath to protect our loved ones, and what are they doing? You know what this is all about? This is all about the cameras. They don't want to be caught doing the vile stuff that they do. Day after day after day. Those officers that are out there striking don't want to get caught. And you know what? The union is low-key supporting them. Although they're telling the media, oh, they're going to get the contract. I think it's BS. I call BS. And they all should be fired. Every single one of them.
Right.
Okay? These are human beings. These are our loved ones that are incarcerated. That we hold them accountable. They don't hold themselves accountable. They do whatever the hell it is that they want to do to our loved ones. You know why? Because they're protected. They don't care. They don't care about any one of us. And it's about time that our governor has a backbone, that has a backbone and does what she needs to do, okay? They all are in breach of a contract. They're harming and hurting and murdering our loved ones behind prison walls, and this has to stop right now. Right now. She needs to go if she's not going to fire every single one of these officers that are in breach of a contract and harming our loved ones. My name is Jeannie Colon. Thank you all for being here, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop until we get this shit right.
Yes. Next, I want to bring up one of RAP's community, New York City leaders, Jamel Bellamy. Come on with it.
You're a little nice, but not so nice. My name is Stanley Bellamy. I'm the New York City community organizer for RAP, Release Asian People in Prison. I'm also formerly incarcerated. However, I'm not standing before you today only as an incarcerated person who served 37.5 years in prison. I'm standing before you today also as an impacted family member who has a younger brother still incarcerated. A younger brother that went to prison at the age of 20. And now, today, he's 4 months shy of turning 60 years old.
Can I go now?
So, when I speak, I'm speaking from a position of lived experience. I was there. I did the time. I know what's going on. I've seen it with my own eyes. And when I say that I've seen it with my own eyes, I'm still being impacted because of my family member. And I have, like Jose Saldano, I have a co-defendant that's also still incarcerated, who went to prison at the age of 19 and will turn 59 years old this year in April. And I can say to all of y'all with supreme confidence that what is currently taking place in New York State prison system today is based on a long-standing, normalized practice that they have been getting over with for decades.
Right.
That's what it's about. It has been a long-standing, normalized, hear my words, a normalized practice of their behavior that they've been getting away with for decades. Prison guards are now complaining about unsafe conditions. Let's be real. Let's look at this. Let's examine this. These unsafe conditions that they're talking about. These unsafe conditions that is a direct result of their actions and their behavior and the way they dehumanize and treat the people that they have under their care, custody, and control. That's when you talk about unsafe conditions. That's what they told. They're complaining about something they created. Many people in New York State like to believe that what happened to Mr. Robert Brooks is a one-off. That our New York State criminal justice system don't get down like this. That these behaviors is not normalized. That this doesn't happen on a daily basis.
Right.
Well, I'm here to tell you that's not true.
Right. Liars.
That's definitely not true. Right now, if it wasn't for that video that we all saw, that video of them beating and murdering Robert Brooks before our eyes. The sad reality, yes, while he was handcuffed behind his back. The sad reality is, had he lived from that beating, they would have charged him with assault on 19 staff.
That's right.
He would have been in charge. He would have been put in solitary confinement. He would have been arrested, indicted for insulting 9
more time.
correctional officers and staff. Yet, as we stand here today, luckily, that there's an indictment coming down. That these individuals are going to be held accountable for their actions. And that's what you got to understand about this strike. This strike is not about unsafe conditions. This strike, this illegal strike, is about fear. Let's look at this. Because if ever there is a real, thorough, independent investigation of the Department of Correctional Service and community supervision, many more officers and staff will be indicted.
Right.
You know why? Because many of them, this behavior, like I said from the get-go, has been normalized. Many of them, they fear that if this investigation take place, that not only will they be indicted, they're going to be called and held accountable for their actions, because they have been getting away with this for years and years and years. And we've been complaining, we've been saying that this is going on, but nobody believes us. And now you have a video.
That's right.
You have a video that stands out in stark contrast to everything they tell the public. They're saying that they're striking for unsafe conditions. Well, you created these conditions.
Right. Sure you right.
Let's look at this. They brutalized, they tortured, they murdered defenseless people under their care, custody, and control. They placed people in solitary confinement for decades.
That's right.
They denied people medical treatment.
Sure you right.
They demean and violate family members come to visit their loved ones. They treat fellow citizens of New York State
Like a criminal.
like animals.
Come on.
And took away our basic human rights.
Come on.
And now they're complaining about the conditions they created. They actually are going on strike about the conditions they created.
Say that.
To me, it is a joke. And what I realized, and I hope, and I'm glad that y'all here, video this, and the news media's here, that you understand that this strike is just a distraction to take away from the brutal murder of Robert Brooks. That is the basis of this strike. To draw attention from that. Because, like Caroline said, it's no coincidence that that their comrades and colleagues is getting ready to get an unsealed indictment that you go on strike talking about unsafe conditions.
That ain't right.
Now you made yourself out to be the victim when you've been the perpetrators all along.
Right.
You created this, and now you're complaining about this. So I say to the governor and to our legislators, don't be hoodwinked.
That's right. Yes.
Don't go for the okie doke.
Right.
Not this time around. Don't go for it. Pass the rights behind bar bill.
Yes.
Pass
Yes.
common sense parole justice reform, like the elder parole bill.
That's
the
right.
fair timely parole bill.
That's right.
Pass
That's the answer.
sentence reform to
That's
create
it.
pathways
Go.
for people to come home, like the Second Look Act, the Earned Time Act, the
Yes.
Marvin Mayfield Act. But I ask you, most important of all, please, Governor, make sure that Robert Brooks' family receive justice. Make sure all the family members that haven't received justice in years past receive justice. Hold them correctional officers and the Department of Correctional Services accountable for the violence, the brutality, and the murdering of our family members that's still incarcerated, that have been incarcerated, and that I got a brother in there, so you know how I feel. So I thank y'all for coming out, and my name is Stanley Bellamy, and again, I appreciate you.
I know it's cold. I don't want to keep everybody waiting. I know it's cold. We got 3 more speakers. We would like to hear their voices.
Talk
Anthony
about it.
from
Talk
Boco.
about it.
How y'all doing? My name's Anthony Stanback, right? And yeah, prison is something else. It ain't no joke. You got people in there that is real foul, you know, from officers to inmates to everything.
Incarcerated people.
Incarcerated people. Okay, my bad. Incarcerated people. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it's real foul. The people in there, like the officers and stuff like that, they act like they all cool when they on the visit. Your family come and visit you, they act like they all nice. When it's over, they kick your teeth in, they violate you, they'll do anything. So what I want and what I suggest, right, for the governor, if it's possible for her to like put an overseer in prison to watch over people that's in prison, because if people getting locked up to rehabilitate themselves, how are they going to rehabilitate themselves getting oppressed from the law people that's trying to hold it down in there? You know what I'm saying? So they need overseers in there, because let's not get this thing twisted. If you a CO, officer with it, something is wrong mentally. People not just gonna get no job like that. Something is seriously wrong. So with that being said, far as the Department of Correction, you know what I'm saying? It's like they just feast on, they just get a drive at a person being handcuffed and they could just snuff them and just get their thing off like it's all good and stuff like that. And then people that joined the Department of Corrections, Rikers Island, upstate, up north or whatever, they really ain't with that, but they see their colleague and their colleague put them into peer pressure, influence, and then that's when they get into it. So the system is all discombobulated. So with that being said, the governor, she definitely, if it's possible, to have some overseers in there and also increase the money so it can be better medical in there, because a lot of people is not making it home. People is not making it home. People is in there, they went in there, they had like a bad knee, now their whole knee is off. There's no medical, no attention, nothing. They just don't care. They treat you like dirt. You know what I'm saying? I told my people when I was locked up, I said, yo, I'm gonna put them on blast, and I don't want to be a fake dude, so I'm here right now, you know what I'm saying, letting everybody know, letting the world know that all of the corrections, for me, they need to be shut down. And my name is Anthony Stanback, and I thank you. I have a lot more, but there's a lot more people going.
I want to comment on this oversight. We're talking about oversight. An oversight commission must include us. It must include families who have an incarcerated person. It must include formerly incarcerated people. Oversight can't be about law enforcement. Not at all. That's what they have now. And all they do is cover up for each other. I want to bring up one of our other leaders, Vanessa Santiago.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Santiago. I'm a community leader and canvasser for Queens and Brooklyn for RAP, Release Aging People in Prison. I'm also formerly incarcerated. I did 17 and a half years. So I want to say and talk about this. You know, there's a lot going on inside of prisons. 3 weeks ago, I went and visited someone in prison, and she was brutally attacked by an officer that had been abusing women for the past 2 years. This was right after the Robert Brooks incident, and what bothers me the most is that who's helping the women inside as well. We women have suffered. I personally dealt with sexual abuse in prison, and as well as being brutally attacked by 4 officers. Everyone's talking about the strike is about taking the focus off of Robert Brooks, but you know what I see also? Let's be real. How many officers attacks one incarcerated individual? It's always more than 2. It's always 7. So who's the victim here? We are the victim. Where are the cameras? Where is the protection for the women that were dealing with rapes years and years ago in the 90s and the 2000s? Where's our protection? Where is the justice in that? When are those people going to be held accountable? We got to stop pretending that we don't see. When we call you out as a community, as New Yorkers, come to our rallies. Make those phone calls to the governor. That's the only way we're going to make change. Nothing else is going to happen until you as well help us make change. We cannot do this by ourselves. Don't sit here and stand in our faces and tell us you are supporting us if you don't put action into what you say. It does not matter. Action speaks louder than words. I want to say another thing. PREA, the Prison Rape Elimination Act, is a crap. It's bull. It doesn't work. The people that run it are part of docs, and they bury the information. They bury the sexual abuse that's currently happening today. That law, that act came out in 2003. We're in 2025. Why are there women still being raped? Why are there men still being raped? Why isn't any of this abuse being acknowledged? Robert Brooks is a minimal, a pin in his, needle in a haystack. What happened to all these years? I'm 44 years old. I dealt with the sexual abuse the entire 17 years I was incarcerated. I dealt with 4 officers beating on me at the age of 19 right there in the Queen's Courts. I still have to deal with this PTSD. I still have to come out here and do what's right. I still have to follow the law. I still am being held accountable, being a parolee, to listen to the laws that they put on us. I agree with everyone here. We need change. And if they don't do it, shut it down.
before that, I want to say that the indictment is supposed to be coming down today. What happens when there are no indictments? What happens when the indictments are for a lesser charge like manslaughter or assault? What do we do then? See, we can't depend on this system to correct itself.
Right.
So if we think that justice is indictment, it's not going to work.
You just died a ham sandwich.
We have to dismantle this system. That is the only way, and it's a hard task because it involves community power, real community power, to dismantle this racist system that hurts everybody.
Yes.
No one is immune from it.
No one.
So while we're trying to do this, and we have organizations represented right here who are leading this movement to dismantle this system, and it's a long, protracted struggle. But while we're doing this, we have to free people from this system of brutal, murderous oppression. We have to be able to pass legislation that will free people, give them a meaningful opportunity to return back to their families and be a part of this, what we got going right here.
Yes.
Because that concept, credible messengers, that concept, violence interrupters, came from us. It didn't come from universities. It came from us in Attica, in Green Haven, in Clinton, in Shawonga. It came from us, man. And you got brothers right here who are part of developing these concepts. We probably got about 500 years represented right here in the congregation. But finally, I want to bring up a brother who's been in this movement long before I came home. I came home in 2018 after 38 years. This brother was already in this movement, Victor Pace.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to say something. I'm going to have a response. I'm going to say justice for, you say Robert Brooks. Justice for Robert Brooks. Justice for Robert Brooks. Justice for Robert Brooks. Thank you so much. And I'm going to be really quick because I know it's cold. And my colleagues that spoke previously, I think they covered a whole spectrum of issues and dealing with the reality of where we are right now, thinking about our colleagues behind these prison walls currently, and thinking about that you also now have the military in these prisons. The military, no less. The military is not there for care and custody. The military is a response arm of the army. Their thing is war. They're not there for the protection. They're there for, if there becomes an uprising, to squash it. That's the only person and reason why they're there. If it jumps off in the facilities, they're there to squash it. When we're talking about accountability, we heard my colleagues talking about the indictment coming down. We all know that this strike, one, is illegal, two, it's a distraction. Don't fall for the hype. It's a distraction. It's a trick. Now, they have already been ordered by a judge in Erie County to go back to work. And they continue to strike. It's illegal. And they have the nerve to list a list of demands in order for them to go back to work, that there be no disciplinary retaliation, no docking of the pay, and all this other foolishness to make the conditions of them going back to work. BS. It's a trick. It's a distraction.
No work.
What we're saying here now is that, one, they need to not be locking down these prisons. Currently, our comrades have no movements. Now, we all remember Attica. They are creating Attica conditions right now. They are creating Attica conditions right now. When you have people that are oppressed and the boot on their neck, you're going to come up and put another boot on their neck. How much longer y'all think they're going to stand for that? How much longer can they stand the oppression of these people, keeping them in a condition where they can't go nowhere, they can't go to school, they can't go to program, they stop the visit, they stop the communication. All of that is oppression. It is back to the days of slavery in a different form. But we're saying we're not going to stand for it. We're going to keep coming out. We're going to keep amplifying it. We're going to demand accountability. We're going to demand prosecution. And we're going to demand that they be arrested and sent to jail. Just like you and I are held accountable when we go afoul of the law, we wind up in spaces and places that we don't want to be. Some of us have been fortunate enough to come out alive.
Yeah, that's right.
But guess what? Robert Brooks didn't come out alive.
No.
Countless others didn't come out alive. 2024, 125 people died behind these walls.
How many more?
Under suspicious circumstances, I am sure. So now they're going to drag their behinds with this indictment. But we saying every last one of them should be indicted. They should be arrested and they should be sent to jail. We are not going to stand idly by, say nothing and do nothing. We're going to be everywhere. Every time you look, we're going to be somewhere. We're going to be amplifying. We're not going to let them push us under the rug. We're going to continue to push, and we're going to demand accountability. No justice,
no peace. No
Thank you.
justice.
I believe there's somebody here from the public advocate's office.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Let's give this brother a couple of minutes. Come on, Nathaniel.
Come on with it.
Good afternoon. I'm Nathaniel Evans from Public Advocate Office. I'm the community organizer for justice and safety. The public advocate message is that we stand behind Robert Brooks. That we stand behind Robert Brooks. Now, justice needs to be held for Robert Brooks. These officers need to be fired. And the governor needs to hold them accountable and do what she needs to do. The Department of Corrections have to change the way they treat us as people. And this is our message.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody who came out in this cold. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask y'all to come out again. We're going to come. We're going to bless us, brother.
Thank you.
Who's going to take the contact information, Carlos? Email.